I've been using this little camera lately to do a lot of outdoor videos. It's pretty good in light and with a decent microphone on it. But today, there's one very important thing that you have to take video. A memory card. So I decided to go out and explore a little bit this afternoon and drove over to a little area just south of Fort Myers Beach called Lover's Key State Park. Started to go into the park. I drove in, realized it's like $8 a car to get in, and I was by myself. Tammy wasn't with me or anything, so decided to forego that this trip, and I'll bring her back and check it out. There's supposed to be beach access, all kinds of things over there. I don't know yet. I should have got a pamphlet or something, so I guess I'll look on the website and see what it's all about. So I wanted to show you something that happened the other day. So we went to see Top Gun the other day, and I'll talk about the movie here in just a minute. But when I parked in the parking lot, I pulled up. There was a van parked crossways, had a trailer. They were inside working on the fire alarm system, and I parked in a parking spot kind of perpendicular to the back of that van. And we have an Acura NDX, and if you've never seen one, they have push button controls for the park, reverse, neutral, drive, everything, the gear shifter. And if you don't push the button good enough, it doesn't change gears. Unfortunately, when I parked, this is how easy things can happen. I pushed the park button and had my foot on the brake, and did not notice that it didn't go all the way in park. And so I was gathering my stuff, I was looking down, and I picked up my phone, my earbuds, and getting the keys and things, and didn't realize, I took my foot off the brake, and it lunged forward and bumped into the van. Broke the license plate, but it left a couple places on the bumper. Broke this little trim ring around the logo, which thankfully didn't break this, because this has like a radar thing behind it for the cruise control distance. This little chrome thing here is $100 just by itself, that little plastic thing. And I've got to put a new license plate holder on here. I've already bought one, and make a new license plate for the car. And it kind of ruined my afternoon for a little while. Went and enjoyed the movie, and then we went on, did something after that. I can't remember where we went that afternoon. I think we went to the Rock of Ages show here. I'll talk about that too later in another video, but this kind of ruined my day for a couple of hours, and kind of went back to tell myself something I tell people all the time when something happens. And I said, if that's the worst thing that I have to deal with today, then I probably got a pretty good day by all measures compared to what a lot of people are dealing with out there. So tried to take some of my own advice that afternoon, and it helped a little. So hopefully when I say that to other people, it helps a little too. Now I should mention that I did go into the theater, found the manager, and gave them my name and phone number to give to the guy that was working on the fire system. Haven't heard from him yet, but just did a tiny little bit of damage to his, it hit where the tire was, so just a little dent by his fender. A lot more damage to our car than there was to the van, but we'll see if they call or not. I left my information as best I could do, but it's kind of a sucky afternoon to start out that way. So yeah, every time I run into someone, they're having a bad moment, I usually tell them that, and smile, makes them smile, and makes them realize things aren't a big deal. It's usually someone at a retail store, a cashier, or someone that's having a rough day and getting frustrated, and things aren't ringing up right, things like that. And I tell them, say, hey, if that's the worst thing you got to deal with today, you're probably having a pretty good day. And they usually agree. But anyway, down here it's Lover's Key State Park, so we're going to check this out at some point. Looks like a nice area, some wildlife. There's a restricted area behind me that says do not enter, so there's some wildlife in there. There's a boat launch ramp, some other things. But I saw a post on LinkedIn earlier this morning from Gary Vaynerchuk, or whatever his name is. I don't know how many people really follow him. He's got a lot of followers. A lot of what he says, I think, today is just a bunch of air he blows. He used to say a lot of things that were more meaningful and better, but today sometimes what comes out of his mouth just doesn't make sense. But he still has a lot of good content, and he's certainly doing better than I am, so I can't knock it too bad. But he posted something today and said, he made a reference to competition, and I can't remember his exact statement, but it was something about competition being good, and I couldn't agree more. And in business, this is something I always preached. Even when we were at the top of our game and our success in my former company, I always said that competition was a good thing. As a business, you don't like competition because you have to compete. But in reality, what it does is it drives everyone to be better. If I have a business and I'm the only one providing that product or service, what's the incentive to me to improve it, make it better, to give my customers better value and do more for them? That was something I always did. We always try to make things available whenever I could do something that was neat and something I could offer free to customers or at a low cost or whatever it was, to give them really a side benefit of doing business with us. And they didn't even have to do business with us. I just provided things for free, like my TroyTube website that I started initially just to allow people to make monograms easily and to make them available, make them, the right resolution and size and everything, and make that available to them at no charge. And when you have competition in a business, if I have a product or service and I have a competitor that's providing the same product or service, maybe they're providing at the same price or maybe a little bit cheaper, and they get more, they start to take some of my business. If I can't find a way to do better, then I'm probably going to be going downhill with my business. So usually you're going to figure out ways to make your product or service better. You want to add more value to it for your customers. Just one little change can make a big difference when it comes to that. And when competition is out there and they focus on their business and driving their business forward, it creates that competition for you, even though may not be targeting you. I've had a couple of competitors that targeted me that for whatever reason that they didn't like me, or it was jealousy over our success. I don't know what it was, but I just let them go their own way, and really didn't even mess with them much until one of them got a little bit out of control, and I had to take some action on it. But when you have competitors that are out there, generally everybody's in business just to make money, to do good things for the customers and everything. Someone new comes along. It's kind of funny because people take such personal offense to a new business popping up that might give them competition. And the way I look at it is like, hey, that's great, because that means that things are going to get better and drive things forward to improve quality of services and products. Competition is the driver for better things that you can pay for and obtain. Without it, everything goes stagnant. And to quote that thing I saw the other day again, I talked about it was a Jordan Peterson talk where he said the one sure thing is failure that's imminent, because if you take no action, you will fail, you will starve, whatever it is. You have to do something in order to survive, to grow, to expand. And without competition, you don't do that. And so then when competition is introduced, if you don't take action, you're going to go downhill probably. You're going to slide, maybe fail, maybe start, I don't know. But just a thought on competition. I think there's a lot of people out there who think the craft market is saturated. There's too many people out there making and selling crafts that you can't even get in and do anything to make any money out of it. And I don't think that's true for any line of business. There's no line of business that doesn't have room for more competitors to make things better, to improve, and keep going and doing things better than the next person. Do them better, maybe make them cheaper. I don't know. You can only go so far with price. You have to have a certain margin. But maybe it drives someone to figure out how to buy source products for less money so that they can create margin and create either a lower cost product or use that margin to create better value for the customers. That's what we did that a lot. So I think that competition is a great thing. I think there can't be too much competition. I think it drives things further down the road. And if you can't compete, if your business can't figure out some way to compete and survive and advance, then maybe you're in the wrong line of business. Maybe maybe you're in the wrong line of business for you to figure out how to do it. I don't know. There's a lot of different possibilities, but I think that when you're in a market that has a lot of activity, it shows that there's a lot of potential there. And I've always said, in most businesses, there's enough room for everyone to eat. And when you have, there's certain types of businesses like contractors and trades and skills and things like that. They form partnerships and utilize each other's services for things that they can't do, or maybe they need a friend that has a similar business that's a competitor that might be able to help them out sometimes. Maybe they have a tool or piece of equipment that they need to borrow or rent from them, and they're doing the exact same service as the next business, but they help each other out because everyone's unique. So, is the craft market saturated? I don't really think so. I think there's plenty of room for anyone to get into it, to make and sell goods, whether it's on eBay or in person at craft shows or whatever. You just have to find the right niche for you and how to deliver and sell and make your profits. So all up and down through this area and in Florida, all over really, are these nests that they have put in, and they are for eagles. So that's an eagle up there, and a lot of them, if you Google Fort Myers eagle cam, you'll see bald eagles nests with cameras on them watching the eggs hatch and everything. It's really pretty incredible.